Let me see if we get this lighting right. Yo, what is up, everybody? I finally am bringing you a review on the car. Should you get this thing or not? Man, I came in here thinking I was gonna bash the car and I was gonna have nothing but bad things to say about this guy. Like, hey, I mean, it's cool, but really, you don't want to get one of these. But no, I'm gonna preface this a little bit more. What happened? I got sick for 2 or 3 days. I'm still kind of sick, but I got that time to reset my little internal gauge of what makes a car good, and I sat there in this car today driving as I started shifting. It's a 6-speed manual, 2007, 2LT. I've red seats, adjustable bolstering. It's honestly a pretty cool car. It's so sick. What can I say? There's power. The torque is there, horsepower is there, the handling is there. But with that comes some drawbacks, you know, like things wear out faster. There's a whole slew of things that you don't want to deal with. But the reality is, you're not getting this car because you want a daily driver. I daily drive this car, which is why I started to hate it. So maybe that's the thing there, okay? Do not get this car if you do not have a daily. But this is my daily. So I abuse the hell out of this car. I drive it like it's nothing. And it just ends up costing me more and more money. I mean, one of the more recent things that happened to me, among quite a few things already, my axles are going bad. And that comes from like drifting and doing all sorts of the dumb stuff. Oh man, that thing, it wasn't the hardest job in the world, but when you start hearing random clicking going on back here, I mean, it's bad business. So eventually I got that fixed. I had first noticed because I had someone sitting in my passenger seat, and whenever I would make a turn in like a canyon or some tight turn, it just would click so loud. And I was like, what on earth could that be? I'm like, hey, I've never heard that before. Please pretend you didn't hear that. But it was there. My buddy told me that it's probably a problem with the axle, and little did I know, he was correct. I ended up switching the axles. That cost me, axle job cost me like $150 total, okay? That's not that expensive. But now we move on to things like tires. You're gonna need to suit these with something good. I recently saw a C706 owner with Pilot Sport 3, so you know, I might cheap out this next set. These are Super Sports, but I might go ahead and put the 3s on because I end up abusing the tires anyways. These aren't on the track. I rarely do like canyon driving. I don't really need it. So the 3s are probably gonna have to sit on here next round. This car is gonna get painted. That's probably like my biggest issue right now. What happened to me, I hydroplaned, smacked a rim. One of the rims cost like $400 to fix. Then I still had to color match it because they were like powder coated, so that would have been like 5 something just because of one rim after the little hydroplane. That was such a pain in the neck. So you know what, I kind of fell in love with these stocks on my friend's car. So I was like, hey, you know what, I always wanted these at the end of the day. So I sold those 3 that were in good shape from the F14s that I had at Forge Stars. I sold all of those for maybe somewhere ballpark of like 6 something. And it was a pretty even trade. I got those for like $450, and then I ended up suiting the Super Sports on for like $100. Super good deal that went on there. And so it was like an even trade. So the next part was to part out that wide body that I had, and that costs, I mean, how much did I let it go for? I don't even remember. Something a little under $2,000. But at the end of the day, all these panels, those rear quarter 1, rear quarter 2, that was maybe about like $400. And the front and the rear bumper, that's probably like another like $600. So I did a little thing there. I made a little money. I bought the wrap. I was like, hey, you know what, this is gonna be a good thing. And you know what, I learned how to wrap the car. I wrapped someone else's car. This was more like a business move. things ended up, they moved the way I wanted them to, but I didn't want to pursue wrapping. It's a pain in the ass. I didn't do the best because this was my first time. I was concerned about like, hey, am I gonna have enough wrap to do this whole thing? So I was being a little bit conservative, and that led to like parts that didn't have enough coverage and just little like hiccups here and there. But for the most part, this was a pretty decent job. Would I recommend you wrap your own car? I mean, go ahead. But for me, I don't regret the decision. It was definitely like another skill I picked up, and that's really what I like doing. I like learning little things here and there. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want it anymore. I'd rather go back to paint. Wrapping is cool. You get exotic colors for cheap. This has a color shift to it. It's like a green with a yellow color shift. Pops. I get compliments sometimes. I get more compliments on this color than I did in the white wide body that I had. So it was definitely weird. You know, people just like what they like. I mean, I like the color to an extent. That's why I got it. But yeah. So enough of that. That's how I ended up going from wide to this. And another thing on that note, like, parts are kind of hard to come by. I remember just trying to get these alone. I was trying to get white body panels, and they just were impossible to find. Body panels, period. If you go on OfferUp, they're just not there. People partying these out is like once in a blue moon. You get a Camaro, I mean, like, how many pieces fit on a Camaro from the RS or the LT all the way up to the SS? Like, there's probably so many compatible parts. But when it comes to these guys, they're old. No one really has these just laying around anymore. So when people do put these on the marketplace, oh my god, do they tax. They are not gonna let their stuff go for cheap, which is crazy. If you want to get C7 lights, oh my god, those are $1,200. It's ridiculous. Got a Z3 flying by. But yeah, this guy is very soon, he's getting sent back to TJ, and he's going to get white, and hopefully we pick up some lights. Maybe not, we probably will. There's some things, oh my gosh, I feel embarrassed telling the channel about this, but what happened with these aren't even active anymore. I know some people wrap them, but these aren't even active. So those are okay, but for some reason in the rain, something happened, and one of these, I don't even know, you can see that wire right there connects to this and gives it light. On that side, it disconnected and was scraping, hitting the floor, and it just busted open, busted everywhere. And now it's just a wire without the connection point. So I have to go buy a new piece for that. That is problem number one. And then I need to buy a new bulb for those lights down there, which is going to be ridiculous. I've seen people just put a vent right there, and I've had better airflow. Like, my temperatures have dropped actually from when I used to have the light. So there's just so much air going through now. But obviously, like, you're not supposed to have it like that. So that's another issue. And I mean, restoring this to mint condition, it won't be like so hard. It's more just a matter of time. You can't have everything done in a day. But yeah, do I recommend the car? If you are down for an adventure, get this car. Or if you have the money, you can send it to your mechanic. But if you are not trying to do high maintenance, like, I change the oil on this every like 6,000 miles. It's like, it's something I do for peace of mind because I know I drive the car hard. I change the trans fluid, the diff fluid, I haven't even done my rotors. Rotors are expensive, guys. Jeez, I did not know they're that expensive. I'm trying to do stuff outside of this space, so I don't like dumping money on the car. It just feels like something I'm doing that I don't need to do. But if you want to keep these things running at tip-top performance, I mean, if you want to keep these cars running how they're supposed to be running, you gotta put money into them. If you're driving them like I do, I drive them hard, I drive it often, and that's just what I do. So, should you get this car? Or actually, attention back on me. Let's see. So, should you get one of these cars? I say yeah. I haven't regretted my decision. It was definitely something I should have thought out a little bit more. Time to time, I wish I got just a BMW and I relaxed, but grass is always greener. BMWs, I had one in the past, engine literally blew up. But anyways, I shouldn't even be pointing out flaws with the car because this is like really specific to me. But for whatever reason, it was super late. I was trying to make it to a car meet, and I jacked up the car to look at something. I think it was to tighten that, because I don't know, like something's going on. But I think I was trying to tighten that, and I jacked it up, and I jacked it up on a bolting point for that fender, and it literally has made my life hell with this fender, because now it's so out here. Like, life is not easy, guys. If I go out on a date or something, I gotta make sure that this bolt isn't getting loose, and for whatever reason it always comes loose. I always have to screw it back on after like one freeway run, and I have to pretend like, oh, I'm just checking something. It's ridiculous. This car is crazy. Now I gotta go home and jack it up again. Hopefully I don't jack it up on the bolt, because that's gonna be hell. Oh man, this car it definitely humbles you when you disassemble a car and you put it back together the wrong way. It's a very humbling experience. Having like the wide body was too much. It was too much on me. I felt like I was the king of the C6s. It was too much on me. I couldn't handle the responsibility. And this is very humbling. You know, like the body panels aren't that crazy. They're already like coming off. The red interior, the red seatbelt, the flexing was too much. Like, oh, I have red seatbelts. You don't. Like, what else could I have done? It's very good, honestly. There's balance in this world, and the balance has been brought. The balance has been brought by this car getting destroyed like I did to it, you know? That's what it is. Okay, this is my clutch. Let's see what else. What type of problems can I possibly show you? Here's a startup. And let me tell you about this one too. I had a C5. Now we're on the 6. Tell me why they have both been manual and both had an issue with the reverse gear. So look how impossible it is to get into reverse. And you hear this axle still going. How amazing. Coding crazy playing. This is my first. And my clutch, by the way, is also on its way out. I mean, I've clutch kicked this thing so many times. I'm surprised it didn't blow up already. But You know, just all the clutch kicking that I've done to this poor car, I'm surprised it hasn't blown up. Because it is absolutely ridiculous what I've put this car through. I don't have my wallet in here for some reason, but yeah, it's pretty wild. You can see we have our check engine light. One of our catalytic converters is going out. We have our low tire. It's not even a low tire. I just don't even have the TPMS in there. Oh my god. And there you go. That goes off for some reason. Tell me why my C5, I had all of the same lights except for the tire one. Like they're twins. It's like a reunion. How amazing. But yeah guys, I mean, as far as the shifting goes, like the clutch needs to be replaced, but it's still very like responsive once I'm out of first and stuff like that. Like first gear is still good. I go here, look. It's not a question if it's bad or good. It's just the quality of my shifts are not that great. There's a short shifter installed in here, and for whatever reason, something is just not going right. Like I go here fast to second, my foot is all the way in on the clutch, but all the way down fast, it's like chunky. I don't know what is going on. Maybe I'll give you a clutch kick right here since we need a new clutch anyways. There you guys go. But yeah, I mean, it's not that crazy. The car's cool. I mean, that's probably like my favorite part of the car. I get to do all those like clutch kicks and stuff. But besides that, I mean, it's just been a problem. This car is such a problem, but now I have some funds coming in. I'll be able to help fix this stupid thing. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm about to go home. Peace out.